My name's Harry James, and I am a recovered drug-addicted alcoholic. December 16th, 1986 is my sobriety date. If you're doing the math, that means that in December, I'll have 35 years clean and sober. And that's not because of me. That's in spite of me. And quite often, I have acted out in such a way I did everything but drink and drug. And for the most part, I have tried to do pretty much everything that I used to do when I was drinking and drugging, hoping I could stand the pain I was causing myself. I'd hold my breath and grip my teeth and, I can take it this time. No, because I don't have the anesthetic effect of drugs and alcohol anymore. Ask yourself why you're here. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Google, number one. Guess who owns YouTube? Google. You searched this or stumbled into this video somehow. Those that searched it, and there's a lot of searches every month for alcoholism, either because some loved one or someone in your family is affected by it, one of your friends or acquaintances, you see it affecting their life, or you have a bit of concern that you may or may not be drinking and drugging when you should be. And I say drinking and drugging, and I put them in the same boat because alcohol's a drug. It's a legal drug. Cocaine and heroin both used to be legal. They aren't anymore. Cocaine used to be in Coca-Cola. It used to be legal too. All of those things allow me to feel different. Now, toward the end of my drinking and drugging career, it was worse. And toward the end, I was an evil drunk. I was mad at the world. I hated everything and everybody. And the main one was because I hated the man I saw in the mirror. I didn't like me. I didn't like anything about me, and I couldn't do anything about it. Gratefully, that's not so today. It's been a process. It is not an event. Just because I quit drinking and doing drugs, life didn't get good. Matter of fact, sometimes we send the wrong message to the newcomer that if you quit drinking and drugging, everything will be fine. It won't. It's going to be real. But in the beginning, you're going to be forced to feel a lot of things you've never felt in your life because you chase those feelings with drugs and alcohol. And that's, more times than not, drives the newcomer back out because they're faced with emotions they have no tools to deal with. And that's a tough place to be. It's one thing to go back out and drink and drug again, but it's another thing entirely to walk around the world sober as a judge, needing a drink. That's a horrible place to be, and I've been there. I didn't lose everything until I was 20 years sober. That's an awakening. If you watch many of these videos, you're going to discover that our drugs and alcohol is just a symptom of what's wrong with us. It's kind of like a runny nose is a symptom of the common cold. There's no cure for the common cold. but we chase over-the-counter medications addressing the symptom so we can tolerate having a cold until it runs its course. Drugs and alcohol were the same thing, especially in the beginning. Some of these drugs and alcohol are addictive. In other words, they start calling our name. And we end up drinking and drugging when we don't want to. And I could not do it at the time. I'm also ADHD. And if you know anything about that disorder, the normal prescription for ADHD is Adderall. The generic form of Adderall, amphetamine salt. Amphetamine is speed. I love speed. In the beginning, I was not diagnosed with ADHD at the time, in my 20s, and speed allowed me to perform for the first time in my life. I could focus. I didn't understand it. I thought it was, hey, if a little speed is good, a lot is better. I assure you, it is not. Meth was speed on steroids. Yay! I could stay up for days. And inevitably, you crash and burn, and that's a hard crash. I don't care who you are. After a while, meth will take its toll. And I don't care if you're snorting it, running it, or putting it in your coffee, it will take its toll. But for a while, speed was working. It got the best of me. Every time I drank, I didn't do drugs, but I assure you, every time I'm doing drugs, I'm drinking. I had to drink to take the edge off the drugs, especially with speed. I would get too high, turn in too many RPM, and I needed to drink because it's a depressant to take the edge off of running too fast. It's not a fun place to be. It was not my idea to quit drinking and drugging. I had an employer do an intervention. And after an evaluation, they said either check yourself into this jitter joint or find another career. And I was too afraid to find another career. I didn't think I could do anything else. I didn't think I'd do well at anything else. So I checked into the jitter joint. It was a rehab. 28 days, that's all my insurance would cover. And I thought I could do this 28-day deal and then go out and go back to living the way I was living. But I caught alcoholism while I was in there. I didn't have it when I went in, but I caught it while I was there. And I say that teasingly. But it wasn't my idea to quit. I was still drinking and drugging to live. I thought I had this crappy hand of cards and my life was always going to be this way. And the only way I could tolerate it was to drink. And when I could afford it, I did drugs. What was my drug of choice? Whatever we had the most of. I'm all in. Count me in. And if I've got a vial of cocaine in my pocket and you've got some, I'm leaving mine in my pocket. We'll do your coke until you run out. I'll kick you to the curb and I'll go my own way and then do my coke. I am a selfish, self-centered egomaniac with an inferiority complex. Pure and simple. That has subsided quite a bit. Does it still flare up? Absolutely. Fear is the chief activator of anybody's character defects. And the more, in its simplest form, fear is respect or concern. You might even say it's worry. It's a fear that some future event is going to go down, and my mind will always take it tragic. It's going to go down, and it's going to be the worst possible way ever. And it never turns out that way, yet I still feel that way sometimes. This is a disease that centers in the mind. This is the only disease known to the medical community that will tell the victim that he doesn't have it. And that's what this is. My mind still tells me, especially today, that, Harry, it's been 35 years almost. You're probably not one of them. You could probably shoot meth socially now. What? And, it's just a fleeting moment, and I chuckle, but the solution is always about getting out of Harry, because I need to worry about Harry. If I don't worry about Harry, who's going to? Harry will take care of himself if he'll try to help others. And there's a way to do this. There is a process of getting out of self and actually getting to the solution. That solution is easy. It takes three things to get there, and we'll go through how to get there. But it's all about honesty with yourself. I don't care. I'm a liar and a thief by nature. It is my nature I'll tell a lie when it's easier to just tell the truth, but some little flicker of fear get in there and I'll lie like a dog. So I have to be conscious of that, especially years ago when I was new. But I'm a liar and a thief. And the reason I said that is I don't have a clue. The three things: honesty, open-mindedness, and that's all it takes is just consider something different. If you've got an inkling that this may be affecting your life, even if it's a family member, it's affecting your life. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. So how does this work? Yes, that's how. HOW, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And I'll go through how I've been through that process time and time again, because after time, more gets revealed. And sometimes there are times that I'll hide a bad motive underneath a good one. I mean well, my intentions are good, but we all know that the world doesn't judge us by our intentions. It judges us by our behavior, by what we do. Early on, I was told, don't tell people what you're going to do it and tell them what you've done. Do something for somebody else and don't find it necessary to announce in a 12-step meeting. That defeats the whole purpose. Do it in the beginning because I was told to, and then I did it because I was supposed to, but now I do it because I want to. And there's a freedom and a sense of peace that comes with doing those things. So how do we do those things? We'll get to that here in the next few videos. You guys, thanks for tuning in. If you got some value or you see some value in this, hit that like button. And if you're intrigued at all, come back and watch some more videos. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Be kind to each other. It doesn't take any more effort. So anyway, the parrot tells the bartender, he says,